Good morning. Just want to do a little quick update on the chickens. We got them all, got their coop cleaned out, and did a little slash big. It was actually pretty big adjustment to the coop. I wasn't able to record all of the work, the process of it, because me and Mrs. Howell both were working on it. It was quite a challenge, but let me show you first the inside of the coop here that we got cleaned out. OG is still inside. All the rest of them came out, but we cleaned it all out yesterday. Got it all dried out, scraped all the old crap, put brand new shavings in. And I'm guessing that OG Mama is, I don't know where she's at. She's got to be in one of those boxes. But if you notice, that doorknob is above my head right now. That's not how it was last time we saw this coop. That's because we raised it up 27 inches higher. So I had all them cedars. Remember, if you saw the other video, I had a stack of cedars. So some of the skinnier ones, I was going to cut them into 4x4s and then use those for different things, but I went ahead and just cut them at 27 inches and put them all the way around. Use some of these. These are boards I cut the first year, and they were just laying out there. They're kind of a 2x6-ish, not exactly rough cut though. And then these ones were some roughly a 2x4, and I used those to brace it, because when we were putting them up, the way I tried to do it first, I used the bucket of the tractor and I lifted up one side and I put three of the legs along the side and braced it, and it looked like it was going to be good. So I did this side first and then had the legs in. Then when I went around to the other side to lift that side up with the bucket, the whole thing slid this way. The legs just like they fell over. Luckily nothing got damaged or broken. But that was, rush hour. One car. That's a lot. But anyway, yeah, it fell over and I had to figure some stuff out. So me and Mrs. Howell did a little step up using some cut log pieces that I had, and so we lifted one side up and I put two. They're, I don't know, I cut them off that cedar out back that had rot on the bottom. So I kept cutting back off of that thing like about 6 inches at a time. So I ended up having, I think it was 6 of those little round pieces. So we lifted it up, put 2 on the one side, and then lifted up the other side and put a couple on the other side, and then came back around and lifted it up a little more, so it did a little walk up kind of a thing, so it stayed closer to level instead of tilting really far just on one side. And then we were able to get it high enough, put the legs under there, brace it all up, and it gives them a lot of space underneath. And there's some kind of rodent that was under there in the wintertime. You could see the little tunnel that it had dug, and that was my biggest thing, is I didn't want that to continue. But the girls here looked at them, they like it under there. They've already scratched it all up under there real good. they're really getting to town, coming out and scratching for bugs, and we opened their space up. You can see the coloration difference where the grass goes from sort of that brownish green to the really bright green, and came around right here and attached back. So now we got it opened way up. So this is 3 sections of fencing now instead of just one that we had for winter. So we opened them way up, so they got a ton of space, all kinds of room in the yard to range and pick for bugs. And you see they're loving it right now, getting anything they can find. And there's OG Mama right there. She's out and about. It's hard to tell because a lot of the mixed girls now, they look so much like OG that they're full size. They're just a little bit darker because they're mixed with the red. And there's one other one. I think she's a full buff. I think OG was her mom and Rudy was the dad on her. And those two, her and OG, look almost identical. It's kind of hard to tell the difference, but OG is just a little bit lighter than that one. But anyway, I just brought the food out and was getting the chickens all out for the day, and thought I would say good morning and show you guys what we did. I gotta make this ramp better. It's not really even a ramp, it's just a board that I had, and they're very hesitant. Yesterday we had to open the main door for them to go in and out of it. I'm going to see if they came out this morning on that ramp. They'd only walk down about to a little to where the wet spot was and jump off. So I don't know still if they're going to walk back up that thing or not. And then we got this tilted up right now because I am going to end up moving it. I'm going to move it away from here just to open their whole space up more to get them out and about in the yard more. But I also want to raise this off the ground only a little bit. One of the things that I saw that ended up, it wasn't a terrible thing, but it wasn't really great, was that in winter time, with that just being flat to the ground, it piled up the snow, and then it really piled quite a bit of snow on all the way around. But then when it started melting, the snow on one side that wasn't completely melted yet would create a little dam, and then the water that was melting off would run underneath and make it real muddy under there, which defeated the purpose. I wanted to keep that area dry for them so that they had a place that they could get underneath that was dry if they wanted to scratch at the ground and do their dirt bath and stuff. I was dumping ashes, just wood ash, no other mix ash, just wood ash. I was dumping those in there for them, and they love it. They pick at it, they scratch at it, they roll in it, they do their dirt bath with that. But I want to raise it off the ground just a little bit, maybe only about 6 to 8 inches, so that there's a little bit of free flow of air underneath, but also so that next year when the melt is happening, that if anything is flowing underneath, it's going to go right underneath and keep going out the other side. And at least that'll allow it to dry up quicker. That's my thought anyway. So today's agenda, I'm going to be going and picking up a whole bunch of materials to get the garden and the raised beds. The weather, little overcast. It rained overnight, which is great, because it wasn't snow. But today I'm going to go pick up a bunch of material for foundation, cinder block foundation around the base of where the greenhouse is going to go. And then those outer pegs are for where the Raised beds are going to go all the way out and around those sections. So I'm going to be picking up a bunch of materials for those two things. I threw grass seed down over here. Last year I did a bunch of work later in the year, and so the grass got killed, and so I put a bunch of grass seed down there. We're going to plant potatoes in the old garden that we did yet last year. We're going to put a few rows of potatoes there. I'm still going to do green beans up along that trellis. Those are good for direct sow. I pruned up the trees real good at the very, very, very earliest part of spring. Well, it was still plenty cold, so hopefully they didn't get any shock. And I put some fertilizer down for them already. And this is where I had the herb garden planted. There was cilantro, lavender, no, not lavender, chamomile, some different mints. And right here, look at this. It's already coming back. I hoped it would. I was kind of surprised it came this quick. That is rhubarb. So I am definitely going to plant a ton more of that. I think I'm gonna fill this whole little square right here. I'm just gonna fill it with rhubarb, make it a rhubarb patch, because that's amazing that that's coming back like that. I mean, it's just barely started warming up, and it's almost like it was growing back even when the frost was still in the ground here. But yeah, that I love. I love some rhubarb, and I love the fact that it's growing back so quick. So that's the update for the morning. I gotta go get some breakfast for myself and Mrs. Howell, get her some good breakfast burritos and a good start to the day, and then gotta go pick up some material and get some things done. So hope you guys are all doing great things with your springtime, things growing and starting to green up on you, and I'll keep you updated on the progress, how we're doing around here. So happy spring, and come back and check us out for the next one. See ya.